One story begins with a cabin ripped apart with no tracks, no footprints, and only silent devastation. Another ends with a man vanishing into the woods without a trace, leaving only his camera behind. So before we begin, make sure you like, subscribe, and keep an eye out, because once you hear it, it's already too late to run. Something was out there, the terrifying sounds that haunted a lone camper on Dartmoor.
I've been camping on Dartmoor for well over 4 years, probably done more than 100 camps on it.
This chilling account comes from the YouTube channel Wiggins Wild Camper. And while it begins like many of his other camping trips, what unfolded in the darkness was unlike anything he had ever experienced in over 4 years of wild camping.
Probably done more than 100 camps on it, and you get used to a lot of weird noises, as you do when you camp regularly. And there's lots of weird birds that make odd sounds. You can hear cows in the distance mooing and making some really weird noises. Even the sound of a car driving across the cattle grids in the distance.
He'd camped across Dartmoor more than 100 times and was familiar with the region's strange but unexplainable sounds. Cattle lowing in the distance, birds mimicking distress calls, and even the sounds of tires. night shrouded in unease and unanswered questions.
Oh my God. God almighty. Don't know what is going on here. This woodland just gets stranger and stranger.
The creator had been building a rustic off-grid cabin, a personal sanctuary surrounded by nature. But when he returned to the site, he was shocked to find the entire structure reduced to rubble. Beams had been splintered, walls had collapsed as if it appeared as if something or someone had deliberately destroyed it. At first he suspected vandalism, yet the lack of any footprints or signs of human presence made the scene all the more unsettling.
But I might as well show you it's wrecked now, but I'll show you the video I was starting to make that would have probably took a month or two to put up. Although there weren't a lot of work put into that frame, there was a lot of work elsewhere on the yard where I've broken down about 50-60 large 7-foot pallets, broken all the boarding off it to make walls for that. I even measured up my stove, so a little stove would have gone in there. I'm not going to scrap it, I'm just going to have to rethink the idea. I'm glad I caught that on video, to be honest with you, and had I not been out hunting with my catapult, I probably wouldn't have come through here. I was just coming through just to check on things. I know there's a lot of deer in these woods. I did have one creepy night back in January, hence why I was building the cabin. There's a lot of strange things that happen in here. I do just believe that's vandalism. How it broke in front of my eyes on camera with no one else there, I don't know.
Fortunately,
Now, trail cam 1 didn't do very well.
the landowner confirmed no one else had permission to be on the property. In over 2 years of camping there, the YouTuber had never seen another soul. This figure was a first, and it raised troubling possibilities. Was this mysterious person responsible for the destruction? And why had they gone to such lengths to remain unseen?
And it is a person. They're dressed up in some sort of camouflage or poncho. I mean, it looks like they've got a big beard. I think it's a man, to be honest with you. It's got darker a lot quicker than what I thought it would, and it's drawn in pitch black, inky black. I'm almost on top of the site of cabin number 2.
and thrives on exploring the unknown, abandoned buildings, haunted woods, and places long forgotten. But one winter night in January 2025, he may have walked into something far beyond his limits. That evening, he arrived at an isolated campground surrounded by thick forest. The cold was sharp, and not another soul was in sight.
And I think I might have a very special place to investigate as well, which I'm looking forward to. So, with that being said, let's start getting set up. Oh, I heard something.
The location was chosen with intention. Its history was littered with tales of strange disappearances and whispered cult activity.
All right, Spirit Talker is on. Little Spirit Talker by the fire.
As the light faded, Dan set up camp and pulled out his Spirit Talker, a device meant to detect paranormal communication. Before long, it began to spit out words, random, chilling, and seemingly disconnected. Dan kept asking questions, but no reply came. At least, not from the device. The response came from the woods.
I literally hear footsteps. I hear footsteps, and not like squirrel footsteps. Like I just heard like actual footsteps behind me.
At first, it was a faint whisper, almost like a voice carried on the wind, but the forest was still. Then the sound came again, louder and closer. A different noise followed shortly after, unfamiliar and unsettling.
What was that?
Realizing he might not be alone, Dan hurried back to his tent, the only semblance of safety in the vast, empty wilderness.
I'm gonna shut this off, go inside my tent, warm up a little.
Inside the tent, he tried to convince himself it was nothing. But then came a dragging noise, slow and deliberate, scraping along the outside fabric of his tent.
There is, without a doubt, somebody or something outside of the tent.
He froze.
Yo, look at this. It looked like something just teared through here. I don't think it's from the night. But this is definitely some sort of path.
Gathering courage, Dan stepped outside to investigate and found something shocking. Trees had fallen unnaturally, as if something massive had pushed through, clearing a path.
I'm like on the verge of it feels like what I can imagine is a panic attack. So you gotta calm down. But it just started. I'm trying the best I can to explain. I know I'm just making random noises right now and sighs, but
Suddenly, he began feeling immense pressure in his chest, almost like a panic attack. The cold had intensified, the wind howled unnaturally, and dread set in. He lit a fire and started packing up. The fear wasn't just in his head anymore. Something was out there, and it wanted him gone. If that unsettles something deep in your gut, don't look away just yet. Hit like, subscribe, and keep your light close, because the next story might not knock before it comes in. And remember, the silence you trust might already be listening. Some things do not need to be seen to know exactly where you sleep.